Okay, I have to tell you about what happened last night, but before I do, I need to give you a pre-story that leads up to last night. So Sunday, I met this guy at my pool bar. And I went there to practice because I typically don't go on Sundays. But I was like, oh, I just want a day to practice, right? So I went there to practice by myself and also to watch the Super Bowl game, right? So hanging out, whatever. By myself, obviously. And I know a couple people in there, so I'm like on and off saying hi and talking to them. Well, anyways, this gentleman comes up to me and he's like, can I play with you? And I'm like, of course you can. So he plays around, and then his brother-in-law comes and joins me with his sister, and then he introduces me to his mom. And I'm like, cool, like, I'm like, oh, cool, family outing, Super Bowl, love it, whatever. So we play a few rounds. I'm playing with his brother-in-law. His sister's sitting there watching, and I'm like, lady, I don't want your man. Like, I promise you, he's just a really good pool player, and I want a challenge. But I introduced myself to all of them, trying to be as respectful as possible. So anyways, so the other guy, that was like originally had asked to hang out with me, we're gonna call him Steve for the sake of the story. So Steve was like, can I have your number? And I'm like, yeah, Steve, here you go. Like, cool. Like, he was super cute, kind of quiet, but whatever. And he was like, I'm sorry, like my mom and my sister are drunk, like I'm having to monitor them, and that's why I'm just like being a little more on the quiet side. I'm like, cool, whatever. So anyways, he gets my number. Cool, whatever. I ended up leaving as soon as the game was over, and I went home. So he texts me the next day, and he was just like, hey, what are you doing Thursday? And I'm like, well, nothing. And he was like, can I take you out to dinner? And I'm like, sure. Awesome. So we talked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday about Thursday and what we're going to do. Cool. He calls me, I'm supposed to be ready by 6:30. So he calls me about like 4:35, and we had already made plans and all of this stuff, right? And we talked about where we are going to meet at, and what time and all this other stuff, right? Okay. So 6 o'clock comes around. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm running behind. I was like, no worries, thank you for letting me know, Mr. Communication. Cool, like no big deal, people run behind. I'm like, I'm still with rollers in my hair. Cool, we're cool. So he's like, well, I'll text you when I'm like heading that way. And I'm like, cool. All right. So then he's like, he texts me, I'm almost ready and I'll be leaving in a minute. I'm like, cool, well, I'll just start heading over there, and I'll wait in the car. It's like not a big deal, right? Like traffic, life happens, we all work, we're all adults. So then 6:30 rolls around. I haven't heard from him. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then he calls me, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, I'm on my way. All right, he goes, I'm leaving your house right now. I'm on my way. And I'm like, cool. He's like, do you want to meet up somewhere? And I'm like, we talked about this. Like, we talked about where we're going to meet at. And he's like, oh, just wanted to make sure that was still cool with you. Well, okay, like, yeah, we're still meeting here. He's like, well, I know that you said, he's like, we're going to get my truck. We were going to take my truck. But I got a new sound system in it, and the music's not working. Can we take your truck? No. I said, no. That was not what we agreed on. I said, we agreed that we were going to take your truck. I said, I'm not taking my truck. And he was like, no worries. I'll be there. I'll be there. Okay, sure. He's like, I'm leaving now. And I'm like, okay. Should be about like 15 minutes before you get there. Then he texts me, oh my gosh, I'm getting pulled over. Okay. Like, that was a quick turnaround. And I'm like, let me know what's going on. 30 more minutes go by. I haven't heard from him. I'm like, text him, everything okay? Start up my car at 30 minutes and I start driving away. And I call him as I'm driving away because I'm like, what if like something happened? This day and age, we just don't know. And it goes straight to voicemail. Okay. So mind you, the last time I heard from him was around 6:30. I go to my pool hall that I am going to go play at, or that I always practice at, and I call them and I was like, hey, this is This is L. Like, this is what's going on. Obviously, all the bartenders know me, and they were like, we got you a table reserved. I'm like, thank you. Because I feel like I just got ghosted. So I show up to the pool hall at 7:30. Still haven't heard from Steve, who apparently got pulled over. I know a pullover doesn't take that long. And so here I'm thinking, because, you know, we're brown and he's brown, I'm like, I hope shit didn't happen, right? 8:30, an hour later, mind you, I'm playing and I'm talking at 8:30. He sends me a text. I am so sorry. I'm on my way there right now. I don't respond. He calls me. I send him straight to voicemail. 2 hours later, and you're going to expect a woman to still continue to wait for you? So I don't answer. He calls again. I send it straight to voicemail. I don't answer because I'm in the middle of playing a fucking match. He sends a text. I'm sorry. I'll explain when I get there. He sends me a picture of the traffic. And I'm like, I'm not amused right now. Sends me 2 audio recordings apologizing at this point. I still don't respond. The third and final audio clip. I'm sorry, but the woman I introduced you to as my mother is actually the woman I'm talking to. What? He's like, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Can I still take you out to dinner? The audacity? Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, lady, sir. I shook this woman's hand thinking this was his mother. His fucking mother. It was his girlfriend. And mind you, I thought it was his mother because she was an older lady. And so I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm not going to sit there and, I mean, if she had looked a little younger, I might have been a little suspicious, obviously. But don't come at me in the comments and being like, how did you not know? No, she was older. She was older. I didn't think anything of it. It did not cross my mind to hear that in the audio clip of him admitting that that was his girlfriend and not his mother. I never responded. I had already blocked him at this point. I hope to never fucking run into him ever again because I will, I don't know, probably punch him in his face or something. So, yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened yesterday. So, yeah. And, oh, by the way, that was the first date that I was going to go on in over a year since my ex-fiance cheated on me and left me for another woman. I think I just stay single at this point because fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. If this is the dating scene, I don't want to be part of it. Bye, guys. All right, so there's an update to my story. And if you haven't heard my almost dating story, go back to the video before this one and it'll tell you everything that happened. But yes, to those who have watched the video, there is a part 2. I didn't think there was going to be a part 2, but we are here and here's a part 2. So I went to, when did I go? On Friday. I had league on Friday. So I was at my pool hall and I'm just hanging out there and the bartender comes up to me and he's like, hey, he's like, come see me in a minute. I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? He was busy serving. So I was like, I'll come and talk to you. So I go to him. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Mind you, love this guy so much. He's a gem. He's like, he's like, I know who that guy was that ghosted you for your date. And I was like, you know him? He's like, yeah, he's been in here a few times. And I looked at him, I looked at the bartender and I'm like, dude, he told me it was like his first time ever there and he'd never been into this bar before. He goes, oh no, he's been in here. He goes, he's newer, but he's been in here before. And I'm like, oh really? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? He goes, well, he came in specifically asking for you. And I was like, asking for me? And he's like, yes. He goes, the only reason, he's like, I caught on, he's like, it's because he actually used, he's like, your bar name, he's like, instead of your name. He's like, and only us here at the bar. He's like, and you know, he's like mentioning the bartenders only know me by my nickname. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he goes, so he's like, yeah, he came in asking for you and was saying that basically he told the bartender that things came up last week and they were unforeseeable things and things that he couldn't control, and that he tried to explain that to me. Okay. And that he wished I would have given him the opportunity to explain himself. So the bartender is listening to him. He's not saying anything. He's not telling him that he knows exactly what happened, because he was there. He was the person I called when I was like, hey, I need a table. He was the guy that answered, and I had told him everything because we're really cool friends. So he's just like listening in and looking at him, and you know, he's telling me in real time, he's like, I was just thinking what bullshit the whole time when, you know, Steve was telling the bartender everything, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? He's like, yeah. He goes, so then he turns to me and he goes, man, he's like, she's a real woman, right? And the bartender quick turns to him and goes, yeah, she is, and walked away from him. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And the bartender was like, I knew the story. I knew when he was talking. I was like, he is talking out of his ass. He's like, I was here in real time when all of it was going down. I said, thank you. I said, I think he failed to mention to you and everyone else that he's like, I don't know, spinning the story to, that he introduced his girlfriend as his mother. I think he failed to mention that one. Wonder why I did not want to give him the time of day. But anyways, so yeah, that's the part 2. Apparently, he goes to that bar. So now, and so they all know to kind of keep an eye out for him now. But I'm just like, are you kidding me, dude? Going to a bar to look for me after you fucking, all this shit happened? Please, please spare me.
Okay, I'm gonna do a story time for those of you asking what happened. So basically, me and Atlas started talking maybe, I think, late September, early November. He was in a relationship, he was in a relationship and cheating on that girl with another girl, and then also talking to me on the side, which I was not aware of until we were in a relationship. December 5th, I went to his house. He asked me to be his girlfriend then. I said yes. From then on out, I stayed at his house for like 2 weeks. Might have been longer. We got really close. Whatever, I fell in love with the guy. I really liked him. So I went home, whatever. We fell out. Like, we were like maybe a month into our relationship. I think that's how long I stayed at his house. Almost a month. And when I left, he was just making problems. It was like bad problems. He kept commenting on other women's posts, sliding up on other women's stories, just talking to other women, flirting with them, letting them call him baby and shit, which I told him I was not comfortable with. Like, those are just my personal boundaries, okay? I don't like my man flirting with other women. And I know he said it was him complimenting them. I don't care. While I was gone, before I came back, he called his ex-girlfriend Lexi after I told him not to, and he said he wouldn't. He called her to get closure. By the way, I'm sorry for name dropping on you. If you see this, I'm sorry for name dropping on you. I didn't mean to, and I really don't want to redo this. But he called her after I told him not to, whatever. He told me he did. We got in a huge argument, whatever. I came back, I think like January 8th or January 9th. The 10th, he called her again a day before my birthday to get a Disney Plus password, which he had not acquired at all, and was on the call with her for like a few hours. Would not talk to me, would not tell me who he was on the phone with. Basically left me in his room while I had a panic attack, and he was just on the phone with her. After that, it was my birthday. He made me a cake. He got me presents. His parents got me presents. He just pretended everything was okay. The next day, he bought me a promise ring. He didn't even tell me he was going to do that. He just, like, dragged me into Pandora and got me the ring. And I was just like, okay, cool. So, you know, after I got the promise ring, whatever, we were doing fine, I guess. Like, I was still honestly really struggling. I struggle with self-confidence, pretty badly. And whenever he would compliment other women, or the fact that he would call his ex, and, like, it was just bad on me and my mental health, and I wasn't taking it very well. And he wouldn't let me express my feelings, because every time I did, I made it about myself, and it was never about him. So, like, I couldn't talk to him. I never got reassurance or any kind of closure. So I was kind of just always stuck. He would... So I smoke weed. Big deal. Everybody does. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. Okay, a lot of people smoke weed. And he knew I smoked weed before we started dating or anything, before he asked me to be his girlfriend initially. This man treated me like a full-on drug addict. Told me that if I can smoke weed to cope with my stomach issues and my eating disorder, he could talk to his exes and self-harm. At that point, I was just like, you know, what the fuck? So I went back to my dad's house. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my dad's house. I went back to my dad's house, and then it fell off from there. My mom texted me and told me I could have my cat back, and I said yes, obviously. I love my cat. That cat has saved my life multiple times. And that's what initially caused my aunt getting involved. So when my mom texted me and said I could have my cat, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come get my cat. I can only have my cat here at my dad's house. I can't bring my cat to Atlas's house. He wanted me to live with him. I didn't want to live with him. I couldn't bring my cat there. I couldn't smoke weed there, which is literally the only thing that helps me eat. No, I don't want to go live there. Like, so I was like, okay, I'm going to take my cat, whatever. And then he was like, so you're choosing a cat over me. I can't believe I'm being chosen over a cat, blah, blah, blah. And I was torn, because I was like, why are you making me choose? Why can't we still be in a relationship? Because he wanted me to live with him, and I wasn't ready for that, you know? Like, I would rather live with my support system and my cat than live with a man that doesn't treat me very well. So, that day, my mom texted me to get my cat or whatever. I was, you know, fighting with him, and I was bawling my eyes out. I was crying all day, and I was just like, my family noticed it, and that's when it became a problem. My aunt, she was like, what's going on? I kind of gave her, like, a little situation of what was going on, and told her a little bit of what was happening, and she was like, he shouldn't be making you choose. You know, he's not treating you well. His mom was even talking bad about me and my family. So she was just like, that's not good for you. And she, like, was like, in my opinion, I think you should break up with him. And I was like, okay. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not breaking up with him. I love him. I'm not breaking up with him. I want this man. The next morning, she wakes me up and she's like, hey, I need to talk to you. We talk, and she's like, I'm putting my foot down, and I'm sorry, but you gotta break up with him. I will take you there to get your shit, and that's it. And we will leave. I'm not leaving you there at his house or anything. You are coming back with me and all your shit. And I was just like, you know what, that's fair, because she made valid points. And when I told him, it didn't go very well, obviously. So that's when we kind of started, like, breaking up. Like, we broke up maybe 6 times. We only made it, like, public and known to people, like, 3 times. Until we officially broke up. But that's when everything started falling apart, because he didn't like being hidden. He didn't like the fact that my aunt didn't like him, which was not my fault. So basically, when I told him, he was like, I don't want to be hidden. I'm not going to be hidden, you know? And that's whenever I think he was just like, oh, I'm gonna just cheat on her since she's not gonna be able to come down here anymore. That's what I think initially started, because that's whenever he started hanging out with other I can't speak. That's whenever he started hanging out with other women alone. He hung out with this other girl on Valentine's Day, one-on-one, and this it was just random girl I've never heard of before. And then this other girl before her, he went on like 2 like dates with her while being in a relationship with me, which is whatever. Like, I know you want to hang out with women because you're confused about your gender, but so like he would go hang out with these women all the time, and I went to go hang out with my best friend, which I've been friends with her for 2 years. We had a fallout. We started talking again, and she Ubered me to her house, and he had a fit. He had a problem with it, and that's when we broke up. We broke up whenever I was at her house, and before that, he was sending me all those texts I posted, all those texts saying like he loves me, and you know, he doesn't want to lose me, and he's gonna wait for me, all that shit. I'm running out of time, so I might have to do a part 2 and tell you about this Tiana girl, because I learned some stuff about her. And yeah, but we broke up because he was a lying, manipulative cheater. I'll tell you how he cheated in part 2. Okay, guys, y'all came to me because he made a story time, and I figured he would. He showed you guys screenshots. I'm gonna clarify some of those up. When I told him to kill himself, I told him that after I found out he got with another girl, and I was completely broken, and I was hurt. That day I told him I was gonna kill myself because he wouldn't call me, was because I was bawling my eyes out and begging for him to call me all night long for about 10 hours. He would refuse to call me. I don't know why. I was like even asking for just like 5 minutes of calling me. I just needed to hear his voice to calm down, and he refused to call me. So I was freaking out. I have bipolar disorder, so I say shit. Yeah. So yes, I threatened to kill myself. He's threatened to kill himself. Whatever. People do that in a relationship. A toxic one, at least. And when I threatened to kill him if he left me, he liked that shit. He told me, he's like, oh, I love that when you say that. He was like, I love when you threaten me if I would cheat on you. He was like, yes, please do kill me if I ever cheat on you. Like, what the fuck? He's into that shit, by the way. I did call his new thing pretty then. She's not pretty. I see her now. I saw one fucking TikTok of her. Apparently, Tiana followed me before and then saw him from my profile and followed him and then started talking to him from that because he was posting about being lonely and needing friends. Also, I'm just gonna clarify the ICE shit. I don't support ICE. Fuck ICE completely. Okay, I said that shit out of like a joke. We all say jokes. I said that to literally him and him only. It was a joke. Fuck ICE. Everybody deserves rights. I don't support them. I would never actually do that. I was just joking to someone I was comfortable with. But yeah, I didn't watch everything because I didn't really give a fuck. I just skipped through some things, and I saw some shit he was like saying, and was like, oh, this is also her saying she's gonna call ICE. Like, that fucking pissed me off because it was a joke, and I don't really give a fuck that he showed people that I told him to kill himself, because that was after I found out he got with somebody new after telling me all that shit. So honestly, I think I had a valid reason to say that shit. I'm not gonna apologize. I am toxic. I told him that. He knew it. I don't have the screenshots of what he said. See, he had all the screenshots because he blocked me on Snapchat, and then I'm assuming he unblocked me and screenshotted what he wanted and then blocked me again. I don't have any access to the chat, so I can't really screenshot anything that he said, unfortunately. I only have what we have said on Instagram and Snapchat, which I will probably go through those and see what I can find, honestly. And might get more into detail with it, since he wants to be petty and post screenshots like that. Because, yeah, we were both toxic. Atlas, I know you're saying this because you like to stalk my page. Fuck you. I will find 100% better. Okay? Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Alright? Your girlfriend is fucking ugly as fuck. You guys aren't gonna last, and your tattoos are ugly as fuck. Fuck you. and to those of you who support me. I love you guys. Thank you for actually staying on my side throughout all of this. It's been really, really hard, and I knew you would come out with a story time, so I kind of knew what to expect. I did not expect him to post the ice picture, though. Well, not the ice picture, but, you know, that screenshot. I did not expect him to post that. But I guess that's just him being a little bitch, because that's exactly what he is. Okay, we got part 3 of story time. I'm going to be mentioning Lexi, showing screenshots, and whatever else comes across. Okay, we will start off with Lexi, because she's kind of pissing me off. So, Storytime Part 1, I accidentally name dropped on her. I apologized. I didn't say anything bad about her. She saw it. She was offended. The funny thing is, though, I never mentioned on Storytime Part 1 that when she called him the first time, she was drunk and intoxicated, and she was begging for him back, saying she still loves him, and that she wants him back, and that she was going to dye her hair pink to look like me, and that, all this other kind of crazy shit. I never mentioned that, though, because I was cool with her until she sent me this text. So, Lexi, if you're seeing this, you fucked that up, because I was trying to be nice. That's what I said. Now, also mentioning his exes, this is him admitting that, you know, he was stalking his exes while being with me. That's also what he said after I confronted him. This is when we had, like, our first fight about another woman. This girl, texted him, was being, like, really sweet with him. They said they loved each other. She posted him, like, a text of him saying, like, he loved her or whatever. And then she said, like, something along the lines of, like, let me be your next victim. So that's what he said. This one's kind of funny. This is him asking me what standards are. Also, since we're going that route, this is him threatening to kill me. Or, you know, kidnap me, whatever. This was me trying to break up with him because we were just constantly fighting. I was trying to be a good girlfriend. Again, you know, telling him he can do everything he wants to do. You know, just how to tell me. But no. Oh, and you know, since I'm so toxic and I was such a bad girlfriend, I was his help. Apparently. This was him telling me he wanted to die. And saying that he wasn't worth being prayed for. Again, I'm just being a good girlfriend, you know, trying to love him. Oh, and then this was funny. That's why. This was me, you know, setting some kind of standards, which were, crossed after that point. That's all he had to say, of course. And again. Okay, so that's all for screenshots. As of right now, I'm getting more March 2nd from the girl he was trying to get with January 20th, and around January. Apparently he was calling her and telling her lies and weird things that we would do in bed that we had never done before, and it was really weird and disturbing shit. So I thought that was really weird. He also told her that I knew about her and that I was suspicious of her because she commented on my TikTok, which I had no idea who she was until she texted me. She was telling him the whole time, like anytime he would text her, she would be like, tell your girlfriend about me and then we can talk. And then he was like, well, I told her about you and she's fine with it. He never did that. And she was not aware of that. And once she figured out that he never told me, she reached out. So that's that situation. That's all for now. So thank you for watching.
Let's talk about the time I went on a date with a girl who was a walking red flag. So she had messaged me on Instagram and we didn't talk for very long because if we had talked for long enough, I probably wouldn't have gone on the date. So the first red flag is that, listen, you don't need to have a lot of social media presence. Like, I understand people like to keep their life personal, but you didn't have anything going on your social media for me to kind of check out your vibe. Now, mind you, at this point in my life, I guess I didn't really care about the vibe. I was just like, let's go. So we didn't talk very long on Instagram. We're like, let's just go get dinner. And we were gonna go to like a club after dinner or whatever. We'll get there. Figure out where we're gonna go. I get ready. I go to the restaurant and I'm looking around the parking lot trying to figure out like who am I going on a date with right now. And there was someone standing outside of the restaurant, like hat on, hoodie on, super sus. I was like, tell me that's not the person I'm about to go on a date with. It was. So I walk up to the door, say hi to her, and I'm like, let's go inside. And she gives me a handshake, and I don't know you, so I guess a handshake is fine. We go inside, we sit down, and immediately when we sit down, turns to the side. And we're in a booth, right? So I'm like sitting across from you, and now all I see is the side of your face. Still has the hat on, still has the hoodie on. We're kind of doing small talk back and forth. She wasn't really speaking a lot, so I would kind of try to carry the conversation because I'm the type of person, like, I don't want to sit in silence if I don't know you. I'm gonna try and, I don't know, figure out what you're about when I meet you. And the first time the waiter comes over, second red flag started to show. She looks over at the waiter and was like, we're not ready yet. And I was like, whoa, why are you talking to him like that? We're at a restaurant. He's coming over to greet us and like get us drinks and stuff. And so she like shoos him away and I was like, I don't really like that. When he comes back over, we put in drinks, we let that go, we get our drinks, we start sipping or whatever. And she's still not really talking to me. She's like half watching whatever's on the TVs, like not paying attention to me. And I was just like, this is kind of weird. And is still being rude to the waiter, mind you. And I was just like, I already wasn't having a good time. I'm texting my friend at this point like, this isn't really going very well. By now it's time to order food. And I was like, oh, what are you gonna get? She's not gonna get anything because she's not hungry. I don't know why we went out to dinner if you're not hungry. But I'm a girl that I'm gonna go out to dinner and I'm going to eat because I'm hungry. So I get a plate of food, she gets nothing, which was kind of weird. Not maybe a red flag, but like still kind of weird. So at this point we're ending like our dinner date or whatever, and I've had my food, we've had some drinks. She's still kind of being rude to the waiter. So in front of her, I'm apologizing for her behavior. I don't even know you. And I'm apologizing for your behavior. And so he finally gives us the check, we leave. And as we're leaving, she's like, oh, if we're gonna go to the club, my friend's not ready. Because we were supposed to go to the club with her friend, and the friend wasn't ready yet. So she was like, oh, do you just wanna like wait by my apartment? Like we can just wait in my car and wait for him. I'm like, sure, whatever. At this point, I'm on the fence of if I'm going to this club because you're already giving me bad vibes. So I guess my wrong next move was getting in her car. So I got in her car and we drive to her apartment down the street. When we get to her apartment down the street, she's like, oh, I have to run into my house to like get something. I'll be right back. So she runs in. I'm kind of sitting there like, okay, whatever. I'm just in your car. Weird. She had come back out. She had gotten stuff for her to smoke in the car. And I wasn't going to smoke with her because like I just was not feeling like the vibe was going to be good if that happened. So she decided that she was going to smoke and I was fine with that. And so she wanted to cruise around while she was smoking. And so we start leaving her apartment and she's driving around kind of just like in a circle around like the neighboring streets. And at this point, my like radar of like, you're kind of being creepy starts going off because instead of like when she was done smoking, pulling back into her apartment, she pulls into a like boat marina. And at this point, I was like, this is kind of sus. What are you doing? To the boat marina, and I vividly remember saying this to her because I was like, what horror movie am I in right now? I say to her, I was like, this looks like somewhere you would take someone to kill them. And she just looks at me blank faced and she's like, yeah, it does. Okay, let's go to part 2. Okay, here's part 2 of the time that I went on a date with a girl who was a walking red flag. I don't know what red flag we're at this point, but she drives into the marina and I had told her, I was like, this looks like somewhere someone would take someone to kill them. And she's like, yeah, it does. Straight faced. I was like, this is weird. Get me out of here. And it had started getting dark at that point. So I was like, I'm not really from here. I don't really know where we are. Like, what are we doing? She pulls in and she parks and she's just sitting there and I guess she just wanted to like yap it up before her friend was ready. And so we just start talking about like random stuff, movies, I don't know, just whatever we could think of. Because again, I don't think she had looked me in the eyes yet. She hadn't made eye contact, red flag number, whatever. At this point, I brought that to attention. I was like, why haven't you looked in my eyes? What are you hiding under your hat, under your hood? Like, what's going on? Like, can I see your face? I'd like to know who I'm talking to. And she kind of put up like a little stink about it because I don't know if I came off like rude. I might have, but I was kind of annoyed at that point. I was like, why can't I see what you look like? I'm feeling like I'm being catfished. Granted, I kind of only knew what you looked like before this for 5 seconds. But at this point, she finally looks at me. I see her face. And I kid you not, in the split second she goes to look at me, she grabs my face and goes to plant one. I stop her and I was like, what are you doing? I don't even... Pause, we're not there. She gets slightly turned off by the fact that I like didn't want to like have a makeout session at this marina that you're gonna kill me at after. And so she was like, okay, whatever, like let's just go back to my apartment. And I'm like, can we please? So she starts to drive and she gets out of the marina and she goes around and she misses her apartment like complex's driveway into the complex. And I was like, interesting. What are you doing? What are you doing? And she was like, oh, like my friend said he's about to like be here. Like I just kind of want to arrive at the same time to my apartment. And I'm like, okay. I know that I am not going to this nightclub. It's not happening. You're creepy. You're weird. I don't like you. At this point, she finally drives into her apartment complex. Story changes. Friend isn't ready yet now. So she parks in front of like her apartment and she was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, do you need to go to the bathroom and like go into my apartment? I know. I shouldn't have gone into her apartment, but I actually did really have to go to the bathroom. So I was like, listen, I think I can fend for myself if things go south. So I was like, I'm gonna just go in, suss out the situation, pee, try and like get out of this situation. So I go into her apartment, I go to the bathroom, I'm in there for probably a bit too long because I'm just trying to like realize what the fuck is going on. And then I come out of the bathroom and she's standing there waiting. She's like, oh, my friend's outside, like, let's go into my car. And I'm like, oh my God, my getaway plan, like it's not really working because your friend's here. We go outside, her friend is not there. So she's like, oh, like let's just get back in my car because he's not here yet. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get back in her car. When we get back in her car, her whole demeanor has changed. Now she is super like weirdly sad and like, I don't know, down, and I don't know what the fuck happened while I was in the bathroom, but she turned into a new person, and I'm in the car with this new person, right? And she just starts going off about how her ex was always like bad to her, and her ex treated her this way and that way, and she's being triggered right now because like I don't want to show her any love or affection, and I'm like, pause. I don't know you. I have only met you for the last maybe 2+ hours. I'm not comfortable with you to like 1, make out with you, 2, talk deep with you. Like we're not there. I don't know what kind of situation this is, but that's not happening. Okay, go to the last part for the juicy ass ending, please. I promise you it's the best part. Okay, last part of me going on a date with a girl who was a walking red flag. We had just gotten back into her car after me going to the bathroom. She's a new person. She's like being real sad and weird, starting talking about her ex. So at this point, she's talking about her ex, and I'm like, I don't really know what to talk to you about. And meanwhile, the entire time she's talking about her ex, she's trying to like hold me and like hug me and be like super weirdly affectionate and like trying to like touch my. Stop doing what you're doing. And at this point, I'm getting mad. I'm like, why are you touching me? Stop being weird. You're being like invasive. I need you to stop. Also, like, I wasn't fearing anything really, but I was to the point where she was being so like erratic and impulsive that I didn't know what her reaction would be if I were like, I need to leave, you're weird. She's like, I'm not like this anymore. I don't know what's going on. I only tried to stab my ex. I was like, You tried to do what? And why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? And I was like, I need to go. I need to go. You tried to stab your ex. Not happening to me. I'm not your next victim. I gotta go. I know I'm not going to the club anymore. She calls her friend or whatever, and her friend is about to be at the apartment. Okay, so she's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom one last time. And I was like, oh, okay, like I'll just wait in the car. When I see her get into that apartment, I immediately call my friend, and I was like, I'm FaceTiming her. I was like, what do I do? This is the situation. I broke it all down to her, and she's like, bitch, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing? And mind you, I knew at this point I needed to get the fuck out of there. Across the parking lot behind her apartment, I can like almost see my car, right? Maybe. And so my friend was like, girl, you gotta make a run for it. So what do? I run out of this bitch's car. I'm on FaceTime with my friend, running for my life because I was like, I'm either gonna get stabbed, I'm gonna get kidnapped, I'm gonna be left in this other freaking state with her best friend, like at a club. It's not happening tonight, and it's not happening to me. So I run out, I go to my car, I get in my car, I'm driving, I was like, whew, I'm fine, I'm away, I saved my life. This is like the last red flag, I suppose. Okay, maybe two. She starts blowing my phone up, blowing it up. Call after call after call. I'm rejecting them all. I'm not answering her text messages. She's like, you're goofy for this. You're weird. Why'd you jump out of my car? Like, what the hell? I thought we were vibing. We weren't vibing. None of that was going well. I don't know what your ex might have told you, but you're weird. You're really weird for this. And she's like asking me like to come back and like meet up with her friend, and I'm like, no, and at this point I was being real blunt with her because I didn't give a shit. I was like, you're fucking weird. You took me to a weird dark marina. You told me you stabbed your ex. You're trying to make me go to some fucking club. No, it's not happening. No, don't talk to me. Don't touch me. It was funny because at the end of the night, she did end up going to the club with her friend, and she was posting up like, oh my God, this girl's so goofy for this. Look at me, I'm having a good time. And I'm like, let yourself have a good time. It's just not gonna be a good time with me because I like my life and I like to be alive. And my girlfriend now would never. Okay, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. She was really weird, really goofy, funny story. Okay.
Come get ready with me while I answer the most frequently asked questions as a 16-year-old teen mom to my 9-month-old baby boy. So, if you don't know me already, my name's Kiana. I am a 16-year-old teen mom to my 9-month-old baby boy, Huxton. One thing I'm asked the most is how did I tell my parents and how did they react? So, I was 14 years old when I found out I was pregnant with Huxton, and we kept it from our parents for quite a while. I ended up telling my mom over text, and I slept at Caden's house that night. She wasn't really mad, I guess. She was, like, I think she knew that I was pregnant and was just waiting for me to tell her because she kept asking, I can't separate my hair proper. She kept asking my sister if I was pregnant, and my sister knew, but she kept saying no because I told her that I wanted to hide it for a little bit. My mom also had us in her teen years, so I think she was just more so, like, scared for me because she knows the struggles of having a baby young. I think my dad was like kind of upset because he doesn't really know how to like deal with it, I guess, and his daughter's pregnant. But they all ended up supporting me and being proud of me because we raise our kid. Another question I'm asked quite a bit is, did my friends stay? No, not all of them. I have maybe like 2 to 3 friends that actually fully stayed. The rest are, sorry, my son's loud. The rest like are around, I guess, but they didn't really stay. You know, like, I don't know. Most of them left, I guess. But that's okay. If they're fine with not having me, I'm fine with not having them, I guess. Another question I'm asked quite a bit is, did I drop out of school? I did not drop out of school. I went online. I was in school until I was like 20 weeks pregnant, I think, and then I ended up switching online. Was I scared to become a mom? I wasn't really like scared. Well, I was scared. Everyone's scared their first time, I believe. I knew what I was doing, I felt, because I don't know, I have younger siblings, and like, I don't know, I just feel like I got the hang of it really fast. Did the dad stay? Yes, he did. And is he still in the picture? Yes, he is still in the picture. I have said that so many times, but still keep getting comments about it. But he is in the picture. Do we vaccinate? We do not vaccinate him. We have our own reasonings for that, and other people have their reasonings for vaccinating, so no hate. Does pregnancy go by slow? In my opinion, yes and no, because when you're pregnant, it does go by very slow. I found out very early, so it went by slow. But then, like, now that I'm not pregnant, I find, like, I miss it, and, like, I think it went by, like, too fast. Was there a lot of judgment? I think because of how young we were, there was a lot of judgment, and like, my family is very judgy too, like, in the nicest way. Some of them are, not all. And then I also had a lot of support, and like, the people around my school are also very judgy, which I didn't really care. But what was it like when I first saw him? Honestly, I was in so much pain before, but like, as soon as I saw him, everything went away, and like, all that pain and like pushing and like everything, none of it mattered now. Like, I feel like it's just such a like different feeling and something you won't understand until you have a baby. Like, I don't know, it's like an amazing feeling seeing your baby for the first time. How far along with him was I when I first found out I was pregnant? I want to say 2 to 3 weeks pregnant when I found out, because I had blood work and it said that I had like HCG, which I've never seen on like any of my other blood work before. So I was like, what the hell? So I was like, okay, let's go take a test. And we took a test and it instantly popped up. Who was all in the delivery room with me? So I had my mom, because I needed my mom. And then I had him, obviously. And then his mom ended up coming. Well, we said she could because she's never, like, got to experience, like, watching one of her grandkids come. What was my top craving? Definitely ice cream sandwiches and Reese's Cups. That's literally what I ate, like, 90% of my pregnancy. JK, I had actual food, but, like, oh yeah, and McDonald's. That was so bad. I was eating it like all the time. That's all the questions I can think of. And if you have any more, let me know.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys how my boyfriend of 3 years at the time cheated on me. Okay, to start off, me and my boyfriend had been dating for almost 3 years at the time. Holy shit. That just squirted all over me. And so this was summer of last year, and so I was working at this water park and he was also working with me there. And we had entered like that state where like we were just arguing, we weren't really hanging out or talking. So that really led up to like him cheating. We were arguing so bad that like I knew that we were gonna break up and I knew that it was coming, but I just didn't want it to happen. So I stayed with him and I didn't like listen to any of the signs, like the red flags. But the way I found out was okay, so let me give you some backstory. He was doing like a lot of things that I wasn't comfortable with, like smoking a lot and just like lying about it and hiding it. And like he would go to like random houses and like say that he was like skateboarding, but he was actually smoking. So this like allowed him to like keep lying to me, which eventually turned into him cheating. Okay, so I was at work and he was working with me at the same place at the time, and he had split shifts. So he had a shift in like the morning and I had a shift like all day, so he left like in the afternoon. So he gets off work and he goes home, and I check his location and he starts driving to Riverside. But his grandma had worked in Riverside at the time, so I assumed that he was going to pick her up or go over there just for some reason. And mind you, I'm texting him like, hello, like, why didn't you talk to me today? Like, what's wrong? Like, hello. And no response. I check his location again like later, and I see that he's at these apartments in Riverside, right next to where his grandma works. So maybe I was like, oh, maybe like his location is lagging, whatever, because it was like moving around. So he's not answering after like 5 hours and he's still there. So I call his mom and I'm like, oh, like Alex is like, I'm like, oh, like, have you heard where Alex is at? Like, he hasn't texted me, he hasn't been home. And she's like, Madeline, like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what he's doing. Like, I think that it's really weird that he's there, and it's just like really confusing because he didn't tell me. Because she told me that he said to her when he left that he was gonna go skateboarding, which didn't make sense because he had lost his skateboard, like someone broke it or he couldn't find it. And she was like, he said that he was gonna go to his friend's house and pick up a skateboard, but she was checking his location and he didn't stop at the house, at his friend's house, to pick up a skateboard, and he said he was going skating. So some time goes by, I'm literally crying to her. She's like, oh, like, I'm sorry, Madeline, like, he's not the one for you. And I'm like, bro, like, because I'm thinking that he's lying about smoking and like going to these houses to like smoke. So I'm like assuming that he's doing that after he promised me he wouldn't do that. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. He finally texted me back and I was like, I know what you were doing, because I was assuming that he was smoking there. But I was like, I know what you were doing. I think that we should break up. And he was like, you don't know what I was doing. Like, what? Like, I wasn't doing that. And I was like, I know everything. And he was like, what do you mean you know everything? So I thought, immediately that was weird. And I was like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, usually, like, this isn't how our arguments go. So I was like, whatever. And I finally stood on business and I was like, I think we should break up. Like, I can't deal with all this lying. Oh, because he told me, he was like, oh, I was skating with my friends. And I was like, you liar, like, you were smoking. And he was like, I'm sorry, Madeline. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I think we should break up. And so I broke up with him and he was really sad about it, whatever. And, whatever. A day goes by. It's like 4th of July. It's not 4th of July, but there's like this celebration at the park by my house of like 4th of July. Like, they do like 4th of July fireworks and like this celebration. So I go to that. Mind you, I invite him because I didn't delete anything like off our socials. Like, I thought this was just like another fight. Like, oh, he was smoking, but like, you know, like, it wasn't something serious. So I still kept like my highlight up and I still like kept him like on everything. I didn't block him. And so I invited him to this event because he goes every year with my family, and they were asking like, oh, like, is he coming? Because I didn't tell my family like that we had broken up yet, right? So this event goes by. Mind you, he was gonna come, but he didn't because he didn't have a ride, or he didn't have the car, which I'm so glad that he didn't come. So glad. Like, literally to this day I still think about it. But later that night, I get home and I have like a TikTok requested message. And I'm like, the fuck? It's this girl. And it's like, hey girl, like, I'm sorry. But mind you, I still had all of our posts up on TikTok. And so it still looked like we were dating. And so it was like, hey girl, like, I just want to let you know that your boyfriend has been talking to my best friend, da 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 da, and I'm really sorry, you're pretty, whatever, like that, hey girly bullshit. And I was like, okay, like, well, we were already broken up, so maybe, like, she still thinks that they're together. And, like, he just started talking to her or something, which is still kind of crazy because it was so soon. So I was confused, right? I call him up. This literally makes my stomach hurt. I call him up, right? And I'm like, why is this girl saying this? Like, share your screen right now. And he's like, Madeline, I'm sorry, Matt. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, he wasn't even denying it. So that's how I knew. That's how I knew it was when he was at those random apartments. He was at that girl's house. And I was so upset. And I was just like, what? Like, there's, like, you're such a liar. Like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, show me, like, the messages. And he was like, I can't, Madeline. I can't. I'm sorry. Mind you, I had just got home. My family's still at my house. Like, wow. So I run downstairs. I start crying in my mom's arms. And I'm like, what? Okay. And then I call his mom, my boyfriend at the time's mom. And I call her. And I'm like, Alex was cheating. Like, that was a girl's house. He was there. Like, please, like, take away his phone. Like, figure out what he was doing. She goes into his room, takes his phone, goes onto the messages. Come to find out, they both make fake accounts so I can't see it, to text each other and to plan to, like, hang out and stuff. Which, crazy, right? But yeah, come to find out, they had been talking for, like, that whole week that, like, we were fighting and stuff. And when he went to the apartments, it was that girl's house. And that day I had to find out that they had sex together. And after, it was I was my boyfriend's first time and he was my first time too. So that really crushed me because, like, wow, like, you just, you know, like. And so the girl, not the best friend, texted me on TikTok and she was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know about you, da da da. She did know about me. She knew everything about me. She would stalk me all the time. I was so confused, like, why is this girl, like, in my profile views? Like, who is this girl? Like, whatever. And come to find out, it was her. And yeah, I still think about it to this day. It still makes me, like, so sick because, like, I was so blind. And I was like, oh, like, that would never happen to me. Like, he's different. He's not like other people. Like, he wouldn't do that. Like, we've been together for so long. No. They'll always do it to you, no matter any circumstance. And you know his reason? His reason was that he thought I was cheating on him. That was his reason. So, yeah, guys. It's still, like, so sad because, like, I probably won't be able to, like, fully trust someone again. But I'm doing much better. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to add, guys, I literally got him fired from my job. I went to my manager, told her what he did, and that he would, like, smoke and stuff, and she fired him. So thank you to that manager. I still thank you to this day, because if he still worked there and I had to see his face, I don't think I would be able to, like, function like that. It was so bad. Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing, but I literally couldn't eat for, like, 2 weeks. And if I did, I would just throw it all up. But, yeah, guys, I have to go to work now, so peace out.
Okay, this is a story time on why my best friend didn't talk to me for 3 days in Mexico. And before I start this, I just want to say thank you guys for all the follows. I truly didn't think, like, that resonated with so many people. But yeah, it's just honestly how I feel. So if you don't like it and you don't like the video, then scroll past it. And also, I don't think I'm the victim all the time. In these situations, I really don't know what's happening because I just be chilling a lot of the time. This girl Me and her have been friends, or best friends, for maybe like a year or two. We already went to like the Nicki Minaj concert. We flew all the way, or we drove to Phoenix. I paid for a hotel. Like, we already did this stuff together. Like, we've been on trips together before outside of the state. So I have like a 3-point system for everyone because I don't have patience for people. So I give you 3 strikes and you're out. So she's basically on strike 2 when this happened, and I'll make another video about the other 2 strikes, but for right now we're gonna talk about strike 3. All our friendship, she's kind of shown me that she's boy crazy because we go on double dates with different guys, me and my husband and her and another guy, but it never really affected our friendship, and I didn't really care that much because I was just being supportive of her and doing whatever she wants to do. So when she's hanging out with this guy, he says, oh, we should go to Mexico, and he invites his roommates, and she invites me and her sister. So originally there's gonna be a group of like 8 or 9 of us, but then it turned out being a group of 4 of us. So doing the work in my head, I already saw the odds were not in my favor, just because I just be like, oh, it's her sister, me, the guy she's talking to, like, I don't really like that. But I still went because we made plans ahead of time, and I wouldn't want someone to cancel on me the day before plans because I'd be wanting them to come, you know? So despite that, I sucked it up. I went to Mexico. I've already been to Mexico before because my grandpa used to live there. So I wasn't like new to Mexico, but I don't know Spanish. So all 3 of them were Hispanic and they all know Spanish, right? So, you know, we were gliding through. It was chilling the first day. We came on Friday. We were gonna leave on Sunday. So Friday was cool. We got tacos. That was fine. The next day is when everything started to go to hell. So it's like 9 a.m. and I wake up. Okay, I'm like bored because I'm in a tent by myself. So we have 3 tents. I'm in my own tent, her sister's in her tent, and my friend's in a tent with this guy. I don't really mind it, you know. I asked them if I could have like the charger so I can charge my phone, because there was a point in the trip where they were just always in the tent and I was just like, did y'all forget you invited me? It was about 10 in the morning. They finally came out the tent. I was up early. I was up like hours before that because, mind you, we slept on a beach. So people were out with their dogs. People were cooking. People were talking. It wasn't quiet. And the beach was roaring. So we woke up. We ate breakfast. It was like 11:30. And then my friend's like, oh, I want to take a nap. And I was like, what? Like, aren't we on vacation? And it hasn't even hit 12 and you want to take a nap? And her sister's like, me too. And the guy's like, me too. And I'm like, so why are we taking naps? But I was like, okay, I told them I don't take naps during the day. Like, I want to enjoy myself. We're in the beach of Mexico. Why do we want to take a nap on the beach? My friend told me to wake her up at 7 p.m. when the sun goes down. Whole Saturday gone. So, you know, I let it go. They all go take a nap. It's 7 o'clock. I wake them up. We're having dinner. And I realized that she's like not talking to me. Like, she hasn't texted me. She's only talking to me like in a group setting, but she hasn't like gone out her way to talk to me or nothing. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. Me and her sister were hanging out literally the whole day. Like, me and my friend, my best friend, we didn't even sit on the beach together. We didn't take pictures. We literally didn't even hang out because this man was attached to her hip and she wasn't even trying to make any like disconnect, like, oh, I want to go hang out with my friend, nothing. I want to go talk to my friend, nothing. And I was just like, that's so rude that you didn't take any initiative to talk to me or text me at all. They'd be in the tent giggling and not a text, not a nothing. And the boy he'd be on his phone, he'd be like, oh my god, like my battery's barely gone. And she'd be like, oh, my battery's not gone either. And I'm like, well, yeah, because y'all are fucking rubbing coochies in the tent the whole entire time. We're supposed to be hanging out together. And I'm all for, you know, my friend getting it. Like, girl, I'm all for that. But there's a time and a place. And it's being inconsiderate and rude that really rubs me the wrong way. So by this point, it's Sunday. I'm ready to go home. I'm mad because we lived in San Diego. I didn't have to come if you weren't gonna like acknowledge me or talk to me or nothing. Like, I didn't have to come. I could have just stayed home. But the fact that you invited me and I'm the guest and you're not even acknowledging the guest is actually crazy. Even the whole ride back, silent. I didn't say a fucking word to nobody. And as soon as I got back to her house, I took my ass home. I'm not helping you guys unpack. I'm going back to my house because you wasted my time. That's exactly what I texted her. I texted her, I wouldn't do that to you. And I told her in previous friendships, when I tell people that they've done something wrong to me, it's always, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's never, oh, sure, so I'm sorry. Like, let's fix this. It's always, I'm sorry you feel that way. And it wasn't till her sister told her how it was hanging out with me, just us two, and her in the tent the whole entire fucking day. Then she realized, oh yeah, that's fucked up. And then she tells me, oh, we should sit down and talk about it. So I'm like, okay. So we talked about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, we should like watch a show together. Like, we should have something like together more. Like, we should do more things together because she works a lot and so do I. I was like, we should just watch Love Island, because that's like, you know, the time, you know, Cordell and all that stuff was going on. So I text her about the show. I'd be hearing crickets. So I'm like, is she watching the show? But she told me she is. And then I see her posting a whole conversation with this man of the show that we were supposed to watch together. That to me was, we're done. Like, I was just like, I'm done. Like, I literally just unfollowed her. I'm not gonna keep doing this. You can be with him, that's fine. You don't know what a friend is, and that's fine. And I can just go about my own way.
Why the fuck would I kill them with kindness when I could kill them with the candlestick in the billiard room? That makes no sense.
Get ready with me while I talk about why I got fired at Papa John. So at my job, we had gotten a new general manager. I'm not gonna go into why, but he had started changing things in the store, and I noticed it, and I just kind of like looked at because I was at Doe, and I looked at the make line. I was like, because like things were just getting changed around, like some stuff wasn't even there. So I was just like looking at it, and he saw me looking at it, and he was like, some changes are gonna be made around here. Okay. Went on about my day. And then the day 2 that I was there, asked him if I could transfer over to my boyfriend's store, because it's kind of closer. I don't have to get on the highway to get over there. And oh, sorry. But my boyfriend and my friend and the manager over there, I actually really liked. She was like really funny, but she quit like a couple days after. But I asked him, I was like, hey, if I transferred over there, would you be okay with it? Like, would you say yes? And he was like, why do you want to transfer over there? So I told him, it's closer. I don't have to get on the highway. My boyfriend's over there. My friend's over there. I just like it over there. And so I also told him that I wasn't allowed to transfer because my old general manager said no, they can't have you. And I was like, okay. So I stayed over here, and like, I don't know, like a couple weeks after that, I was offered a promotion that was gonna come, and I was gonna start training for it after one of the girls left. So I was gonna take her job. And then all of that basically stopped whenever he got there. And so he asked which one I wanted to go to, and I told him I wanted to go to the one over there. And he said, you know, me and that general manager, we run it the same, right? And I was like, okay. And I was like, the only reason I stayed was because of my old general manager. She said I couldn't transfer. And he was like, well, you know, she trained me, right? Why are you taking this personally? Like, I get it. I'm the only insider who knows how to do dough, pizza toppings, oven, stickers, cashier, and customers. Like, I get it. I'm the only one who knows how to do that. But at the end of the day, you can train people, right? And so after that, I started noticing that he was only being like really rude towards me, I guess you could say. Like, if there was like a pizza topping wrong, or if the dough had, or the pizza had too much bubbles or whatever, it was my fault. He'd be like, Eliza, no, there's too much cheese, there's not enough cheese, there's too much sauce, there's not enough sauce. No one's ever complained about the pizza before. Calm it down. Alright? Whatever. And so he started noting down in his little, like, notebook or whatever, she's rolling her eyes. Okay. I mean, you can't really fire me over that. I don't believe you can even write me up, but alright. So he calls his boss over, and it's like, yo, handle her, basically. So she comes over and she's like, hey, do you have a problem with him? He's in the room while she's talking to me. He's standing right there. And she's like, do you have a problem with him? And I was like, no, not really. I've only known him for like 4 days. Not really. So she asked me, and she was like, are y'all having any problems? Like, what's going on? And I was like, nothing's really happening. We're chill. Tell me why he hands her a fucking clipboard being like, this is what she's doing. I was gonna keep this drama, like, your petty drama between us, instead of going to your boss about it. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that's in your 40s bitching at me. Like, I'm sorry that this is your big boy job, and this is just a little job for me. But, like, no need to get bitter about everything, okay? So after we talked, she says, you can always text me if he's being rude to you or he's bullying you. I can go beat him up. All right? It was playful, and I was like, yeah, thank you. And so after a couple more incidences, I was like, hey, I'm gonna need her number, please. Like, she literally told me to text her if anything was happening. Things are happening, give me her number, please. He never gave me her number. In fact, he would leave me on delivered or read. Depends on how he felt that day, I guess. And every single time you would just ignore it. And it's like, I know you're on your phone. I see you on your phone right now. What's going on? And so my final straw, honestly, was February 14th. I had to go into work, which kind of like sucked, but it was whatever. He told me to go on the make line because I told him I can't do make line, or I can't do dough right now. I have nails. I don't want to make holes in the dough, right? And he had a problem with that, but that's like a whole separate thing, and I'm not even going to get into that right now. I'm really not. So he was like, you're on make line like always. Okay. Don't you come at me like that. Like, I just got in here. Calm it down. And so everybody and they fucking mama was on the make line making pizzas instead of on dough, where he put a new hire who didn't know what a stuffed crust was, who didn't know what a medium pizza looked like. He didn't know what a garlic knot was. He didn't know what breadsticks were. All right. So I'm over here and I'm teaching him while I'm simultaneously giving them the rush of pizzas that they need. The heart-shaped pizzas, the larges, whatever they needed, I'm passing it down. I'm saucing it and I'm passing it down. One of them says light sauce. I lightly sauce it. He grabs it from the other manager and he starts, he was so mad. He was so mad. And he was like, I told her to be on the make line and not on dough. Someone needs to take her place. She's being useless. She can't even do anything right. Whoa. You got stuff going on at home, huh? Bullying me. What? I'm a ray of sunshine. Okay. Why are you being mean to me? So I'm just sitting there and I'm just kind of like debating. Should I quit right now? Should I quit right now? No. I need to have another job lined up before I give away this $10 an hour. Okay? So, so I was talking to my friend that was also on the make line, and we were making fun of it. And nobody knows how to make the pizzas correctly for some reason. It says it on the screen. It'll say half pepperoni. It's like they can't read, but it's alright. But he never says anything about anybody else's imperfections, only mine. So it doesn't matter how many times they mess up on it. If it's something that I did, it's getting brought up. If it's something someone else did, never getting brought up. So I was talking to my friend and I was like, but if it was me, and she was like, but if it was you, the world would have blew up. Yes, probably this Papa John's at this point. He was just on my ass the whole day. And so the next day he put out schedules and I was like, he said in the group chat, hey, if you guys need any like alterations to your schedule, like let me know, I can fix it. And I was like, Hey, can you please bump me up from 1 day to 2 again, please? Mind you, I'm only getting 1 day a week now. I used to be getting 3 days a week, full shift, maybe a little bit after. Now I'm getting 3 hours for the 1 day a week. I'm only getting paid $60 on my bi-weekly paycheck. Oh, you're messing with my money right now. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Thank you. So I said, hey, I'm gonna need you to bump it back up to 2. And now I'm running out of time.
Facebook has taught me a couple of things. One, there are some truly brilliant people out there, okay?
Part 2 of why I got fired at Papa John's. So I asked him, hey, can you bump me back up to 2 days? Like, at this point, I'm only getting 1 day a week. I get paid bi-weekly. I'm only making $30 because they're only keeping me for 3 hours a day. I made $60 on a bi-weekly paycheck. Like, oh, I just love it so much. Thank you. So I told him, hey, please bump it back up to 2. And he was like, for the goodness of the store, we're not going to be doing that. Da da da. Mind you, I'm the only one who knows how to do the cash register, take cash, because apparently people don't know how to do that. Take the cash, take the card, deal with the customers, do oven, make a pizza correctly, and do dough at the same time. Okay? I'm the only one who knows how to do that. He usually sits his ass in the office while I have to deal with orders until everybody comes in for work. Oh my goodness. Oh, so much. So I was just kind of thinking, like, goodness of the store, these people don't even know how to make a fucking pizza. What are you talking about? Not only have I been here the longest as an insider, but I'm the only one who knows how to do all this shit, and you're hiring new people who don't even know how to do breadsticks. But okay. So I tell him, hey, I'm gonna need your boss's number. I feel like she would be very interested in what happened on February 14th, you know, with you yelling at me and whatever, and getting my, like, what is it, like, taking away my hours and all, like, the little things he's been doing and saying. So he doesn't respond to that, but I see him talking in the group chat. So I said, because I was just getting pissed off at this point, I hadn't even been to sleep, and I was like, hey, remember me? I'm gonna get HR if you don't give me her number. Yeah. Yeah. Give me her number. So all of a sudden, that lady has my number. This whole time she had my number. And apparently she's been meaning to call me. But only did it once I started talking about HR. Love that. So we called about it, and I told her about what happened. She was like, how come nobody reported it to me? Girlfriend, I don't know. I don't run these people's days. Like, I don't know. And she was like, well, I'm in direct line with all these people. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is what's happening. And then I think, like, I went to work either that day or the next day. And I had texted her, and I was like, hey, here's some other stuff that I also didn't tell you. Like, how my other manager split tips with everybody in front of me, and then told me to go home. Love that. Just love that. Alright. And she was like, that has no concern with me, and stuff that doesn't happen at work isn't my issue. I don't talk to these people outside of work. This happened at work. So yes, it is your issue. So I got so pissed off with this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna send an email to HR, because she told me that she's documenting everything and that I'm the problem. She literally told me I'm the problem. Okay. Love it. Okay. So I started drafting up an email with my mom's friend, because she's super, like, high in her job. I think she's basically her own version of HR. I'm not sure. But she knows how to write an email. She knows how to write damn good email. All right. So I'm trying to find the email so I can like email the HR, right? I call the number. It doesn't even have a human resources department, right? All right, whatever. I'm going to go check the employee's handbook. So I check the employee's handbook. I called the number for their HR. And guess what? It wasn't even in service. Love it. Don't you just love Papa John's? So I just gave up at that point. I just gave up, and I wrote a damn good email. Well, she did, but it was a collab. We're in it together. So I was just like so mad about it. And then I had work that Friday, and I was like, you know what? It's my dad's birthday. I'm not gonna go in. I already got a new job at a gym. I'm perfectly fine with not going. I don't need to go. I don't need the money. I'm not making money. There ain't no point in me being there. So I just didn't go. And then, that was like low-key me quitting, because that is how other people have quit before, is a no call, no show. But instead they put it down as me getting fired. Whatever. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna put your number down as a reference, you know? So that is the story. And hopefully HR will finally have a thing for the employees to call. Hopefully, you know, because they kind of need that, especially with these shitty bosses, you know. By the way, the boss of the general manager, her name is Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Yeah. So if you're going to call me the problem, I am going to be the problem now. Now I am. Everybody's going to know. Okay? The second dude, I will tag him in this if it does get views. But, his name is Lucio. Hi, Lucio. Please go take a shower, because you shouldn't be handling food when you're so dirty. You really shouldn't. You smell, and your hair is always super oily, which is crazy, because your hair is bleached, so I would think you would take a shower. But clearly not. He stinks really bad. Please wipe your ass. Every now, I mean, when you get a chance, you know. Maybe things get busy in there, I'm not sure, but please wipe. And please shower. You should not be handling people's food with dirty ass hands while you stink. You're handling food. Even I knew that. And I don't even have a food handlers. And I know that you shouldn't have dirty ass hands when you're touching people's food without gloves. Okay? Bye.